Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Shalom Om Swastiastu. Name culture of greetings. Honorable to our lecturer, Mrs. Nirma Paris SPD MPD. And first of all, let's thanks to God Allah who has given us the mercy and blessing until we can join in this online presentation today. So, secondly, salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Well, we are from group 5. We will presentation about material, language, mind, language processing in the brain. But before that, I would like to introduce my group name. Namely, start from me. My name is Devy Afriliya as a moderator and the second presenter. And Yuspita is the first presenter, and Wanda Wahyuna is the last presenter. For the first presenter, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yuspita as the first speakers. I will explain about definition of language and mind. So, language is a unique structure that only humans and animals have. Mind and language are one and have the character of conscience. It is already in the brain as soon as humans are born. Worf and Sapir explain that the connection between language and thought is possible because thinking is an attempt to associate words or concepts to reach a conclusion through the medium of language. Language is a social communication tool in the form of a system of sound symbols produced from human speech. Humans, as a social creatures, need a means to interact with other humans in society. Meanwhile, mind are ideas and mental process. Thinking allows a person to represent the world as a model and treat it effectively in accordance with goals, plans, and desires. According by Surya Sumantri, language is a limited medium that carries everything within it. That is, everything is capable of being contained with the field of human understanding. Therefore, understanding language will make it possible to understand forms of human understanding. Language is a medium for humans to think abstractly where factual objects are transformed so humans can think about an object, even though the object is not sensed when the thinking process is carried out by them. That's all from me. I turn back to the moderator. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the first presenter. So I will continue the material. Language process in the brain. In psycholinguistic, language processing refers to the way humans use words to communicate ideas and feelings, and how such communications are processed and understood. Language processing is considered a uniquely human ability that is not produced by the same understanding of grammar or systematics even in humans' close primate relatives. The language process in the brain includes two things. If the information received is in verbal form, the sounds are responded to in the temporal lobe, especially in the primal auditory cortex. Next, these sounds will be processed and then sent to the Wernicke area for interpretation. How does the brain process language? The left hemisphere of the human brain controls our fine movements in coding speech. There are two important areas in human brain that function to regulate aspects of language. These two important are Broca's and Wernicke's area. Wernicke's area itself is located in the left part of the brain near the junction between the temporal lobe and the parietal lobe. It is named unique because this area was discovered by Carl Wernicke in 1875, where in a clinical case study he found an injury to the left temporal lobe. Injury to this part makes it difficult for a person to understand spoken or written words even though he can speak normally. Wernicke's area allows us to receive information both through hearing or speech and sight or writing. Wernicke's area also functions to understand this information. This information will then be forwarded to broadcast area, which is near to the primary motor cortex. So the broadcast area is what makes it possible to regulate motor movement, articulating the pronunciation of a language. Children having no speech production can comprehend speech and think, while the ability to utter speech in appropriate situations is a good indicator of language knowledge. The absence of the ability to produce speech may not indicate of a lack of knowledge. There are many hearing persons who are born mute. People such as these may be born with cerebral palsy or some other abnormality that prohibits them from articulating speech. Well, that's all my presentation. So for the last presenter, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Wanda Wahyuna. Will present the next material, namely language and thought. So, what is the relationship between language and thought? Relationship at the heart of psycholinguistics is the relationship of language, thought, and culture that is central to psycholinguistics. People through the age have wondered whether speech or language is necessary for thoughts. Yet, that's true because language is a mirror of thinking. We use language as a symbolic tool to communicate our thoughts and represent our cognitive processes. The cognitive process here is an individual's mental process which can be understood as information processing that developed through language interaction with others. As for the opinion of one expert regarding language and thoughts, namely Wilhelm von Humboldt, who stated that language determines many aspects of thoughts. In essence, language and thoughts have a reciprocal relationship that influences each other. I think that's all my explanation about language and thoughts, more or less. Please forgive me. I turn back to moderator. Thank you.
Well, I think that's all our presentation from group 5. I'll be curious for them if you get any mistake from us. And the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.